Okay. I really felt like our guys were excited about practice. There was a lot of positive energy out there. One thing I told them after we were done, we got a little tired towards the end. And, first time out, we had an extended time period off. Tomorrow we got to come out here and we got to finish practice better. Really, that was the take on it. But I loved our positive energy and everything that went with it. We kind of split our practice in two like we've done in the past. Really focused on our older guys early, gave a chance for our younger guys to really watch and just see how we practice and the tone and the attention to detail and everything that goes with it. And then at the end, we stuck around for 9 more periods just with the young guys, gave them a chance, and our coaches a chance to really focus on them. And we're just trying to build the foundation, these first few days of fall camp, and trying to give our young guys, a chance to really compete and show what they can do and find out, in fall camp who can help us and who needs a little more time as far as that goes. As far as injury updates, Daquan Newkirk was out, Connis Miller was out, Prince Salmons and Troxel. Obviously, Troxel with his ACL, but we expect, Connis to come back. I can't tell you a timetable in that, but it is a possibility before fall camp ends. Newkirk's probably going to be a little bit longer. We do think we'll have him back, before the season ends with that. We'll see. And then Prince Salmons, I think he'll be back right after fall camp. But overall, like I said, our leadership, our guys were excited to get out there. They were coachable. And the only thing we just didn't finish, we got a little bit tired. Questions?
Obviously the first day, but what did you see out of the quarterback guys in terms of just taking charge and doing those things?
Yeah, we divided up, and of course, Bo and Joey really got a lot of the reps, or really all the reps for the most part, with the 1s and 2s, and Cord got a chance to watch. We put him in there a little bit, but for the most part, he got the 3s, and I thought it was good to get those guys out there. Now I'm going to say this too, like, install-wise in the past, it's been a real slow process. We've been really slow as far as our install. Today, we decided to throw a lot more at them. And we feel like we got a veteran group as far as our first group goes. Our quarterbacks, obviously, we threw a lot at them, but I think it's good. And I think for the most part, they handled the installation pretty well. You can tell that they've really done a lot of work on their own this summer, and that was encouraging to see.
Are they Joey's been here longer, obviously. Are they in a pretty similar spot as far as understanding what you want and understanding offense?
I think so. I mean, Joey has been here longer. But at the same time, he hurt his thumb last year and was really, just out, for an extended period of time during the season. But they're both young guys. They're both freshmen. They're both competing extremely hard. And like I told you before, they're desperate to win the job, and I saw that desperation today.
DJ Williams too. I noticed he was in orange jersey.
Yeah, he was in an orange jersey. I will say this, as far as the limited guys, Jordan Peters was out there. He was limited. That was good to have him out there. DJ Williams was. He had a shoulder procedure, at the end of spring. I don't think that'll be much longer. Luke Dill was out there limited. I thought that was good. We'll see what happens with him. And then James Owens-Moss was limited too. But DJ, primarily with the younger guys. But like I said, he had a very good spring.
Justin, you got a lot of good players and a lot of veteran players. Is there a key to taking the next step from being a bunch of good players to being an outstanding team?
Yeah, there's no doubt, and that's what we're challenging them. I can't be satisfied. I don't care if you had success or not. And just from a coach's standpoint, coaching our top players harder than everybody else, and that's our philosophy, and that's how we're operating, because we've got to take the next step in a lot of areas. And there's a fine line between winning a championship and almost, and winning versus the good teams and almost. And it's all about taking that next step.
What did you think about Tyler Farrar and J.J. Wilson, your 2 graduate transfers?
Zach Farrar, J.J. They both, you can tell they're veteran guys. I'll tell you that. That's the thing that stood out to me today. They were veteran guys, and they were out there. They caught on quick, and just after one day of practice, I think they'll be able to help us.
Wanted to kind of install the offense earlier. Is that the
because of the experience?
Say it again.
In the decision to install the offense a little earlier,
Yeah.
because of just the experience, or is that something you feel like you're learning?
Yeah, we got a veteran offense. We got most of our guys back. I know the quarterbacks are young, but I just decided we're going to throw a lot at them. So we probably put about 3 or 4 more core plays, base plays on our first day. And like I said, I think for the most part, our quarterbacks handled it well. I know our first group handled it very well, and they should. Our second group, there was probably a few growing pains, but that's okay. We've been talking about getting depth specifically on the offensive line. They're competing. They're competing for depth, and so we want to challenge them guys too and see what they can do.
Going back to Zach for a second, aside from a veteran presence, just from the first look, what do you feel he brings to that receiving corps?
Well, like I said, I mean, it's hard to say just after one practice and helmets, everything, other than the fact when he gets out there, it feels like a veteran guy, and so, he was excited to be out here. He's learning too. You got to understand this showed up, so he's learning, but he's learning quick.
Gus, to have so many veteran guys on line of scrimmage, both sides of line of scrimmage, even in the day of spreading the field and wide open offensive things. How crucial is that, again, to being able to contend for a championship?
Yeah, I mean, every year we won a championship here, we've been really good on both sides of the football up front. I think we got a chance to do that. I think it's going to be important that some of them key guys stay healthy. And like I just said, what's on my mind is developing depth. Just for the chances of everybody up front on both sides, the chances of those guys staying healthy the whole year, that's not always the case. And so we got to develop depth. And I think we got some good options. But it's just a matter of leaving camp feeling like we can put another guy in there and we won't miss much. And so that really is, one of our focuses in fall camp, too, on both sides.
You obviously had a couple of guys do track in the spring. I mean, now that you're seeing them here in the fall, do you feel like that's something that works, that's something they can do and they come back?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, the 2 guys you're talking about were true freshmen last year. Anthony Schwartz showed up August 1st, and he really made a huge impact, not even going through the summer as a true freshman. He's a smart guy, and the thing about it, even when he's running track, I mean, he was around as much as he could, even to watch practice. And Worm's the same way. And, both those guys are real smart guys, attention to detail guys, real competitive. And they both can really run.
You talked about how the summer was going to be very important for Joey and Bo. You see some areas where they kind of took a step forward from the last
I think so. I mean, I think it was more of a presence deal, just from both their presence. And, we're straining them now. I mean, we're straining both of them. And just the way they handle it, I think is important. And, they took a real coaching today. And but I think the big thing probably is the maturity, which is good. And that's probably the main thing, as far as after the summer.
You need to see the coaches poll to know how difficult your schedule is this season. Is there a message right now to your players about withstanding the entire schedule and knowing what to do?
Yeah, I think the good thing is it's really not a shock to our system. It may be a little tougher than last year's, okay, but it's still in that same category. So our guys understand the grind, and especially having a veteran team. I think the big picture, if you look at it big picture, it's the road games, the top teams that you go on the road. That's really what's on my mind as far as big picture. But just honestly, these guys, I mean, they're hungry. They're focused on our first game. From a head coach's standpoint, you got to worry about the big thing. But right now, I just want them focused on Oregon. Oregon's one of the top teams in the country. We're not playing them at home, a neutral site, and that'll be a good measuring stick, really, where we're at this year.
Speaking of that first game, Coach, when do you start shifting your attention from your team, getting better yourselves, and then turning your attention to the
Yeah, it's usually after fall camp. I mean, there may be a few things in fall camp that we're doing, that can help. But, really you're trying to get everything straight for yourself, and then you transition into your opponent. And, that's usually after fall camp.
With those injuries to Connus and DeQuan, how much does that affect or even limit you in what you're trying to get accomplished at that tackle spot next to Derek?
No, I think what it does, I think it gives you a chance to develop, even some of those younger guys, you know, they got an opportunity while those guys are gone, you know, to develop some depth there. And so that's really the way we're looking at it.
Who are you looking at there? Anybody you're trying to cross-train?
No, you know, Cole is a guy that is going to play some inside and some outside. That's probably the number one guy, but he's done that before, so it's something that he gives us flexibility with in that position.
Any players are just like, you saw today, obviously they made physical changes over the summer that maybe blew you away or surprised you?
You know, not really. I'm thinking a big picture. I'm looking at everything. You know, we'll get to look at the film. There may be somebody jumped out, you know, but nobody that just you can say right now. But that's not a bad thing. I think there's a lot of guys practice well, but I'm just not ready to put somebody else out there.
Pittsburgh looked like he had a big brace on his left knee. How's he doing?
Doing good. Yeah, shouldn't be an issue at all. I think it's more precautionary.
Do you like Broderius Hand at tackle more or at guard?
Well, you know, we always like to have our guys be able to play guard and tackle, especially the older guys. And so it was just one of those deals that, you know, feel like giving some tackle reps too. But you see, we kept him on that same side, which usually if you keep him on the same side, the transition's not as tough.
With Bailey Sharp as the plan to kind of work him out left and right tackle.
Yeah, Bailey's a guy that's been here a long time, and he can play right or left, and he's done that. And so he'll do that in fall camp, and he's one of those guys that we're really counting on to give us some depth.
Anything else?
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.